Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Raylene Marks, bringing you the top stories from Israel and surrounds every Monday to Thursday right here on this platform. Or if you prefer YouTube, we're on the YouTube at the Israel Brief, and you know what to do. Just simply click on that big red subscribe button. But you're all here for the headlines, so let's get into it. And we begin today with the COVID-19 crisis. And Israel's health ministry announced earlier today that because of the increase of infections over the last couple of weeks, Israel will be heading into a system of curfews starting tomorrow night, that's Wednesday night, from about 6-7 p.m. and this will last until the 2nd of January. And this will make the time to include the festival of Chanukah, the festival of lights, which starts on Thursday evening, and cover Christmas and the New Year's Eve celebrations as well. Although I think many people are just happy to celebrate the end of 2020. And all is not lost, because it has also been announced that Israel will receive its first batch of Pfizer vaccinations on Thursday. And talking about vaccinations, all eyes have been on the United Kingdom, and we wish good health to 90-year-old Granny Margaret Keenan, who was the first person to receive the Pfizer vaccine outside of the human trials earlier today. And I must say that watching this happen does bring some kind of sense of hope that we can see a light at the end of this very, very long and disturbing tunnel. Speaking of tunnels, we now go to Iran, where Israel's outgoing ambassador to the United States, Ron Dermer, in a panel said that the Biden administration must remember that it is 2020 and not 2015. So what is he talking about? I hear you all asking. He is appealing to the Biden administration that they engage in some kind of talks with Iran with regards to the nuclear deal, that they need to include members of the Gulf states as well as Israel in this equation. Now, countries such as Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and the United Emirates have expressed their objections to any kind of deal with the Iranians, as of course have Israel. And this time, Israel is determined, rather, not to be excluded. Meanwhile, a scene very, very unusual took place in Tehran today. An Israeli flag was draped over a bridge with the words, "Thank you, Mossad." This is in relation to the assassination of Iran's chief nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, but Jerusalem is neither confirming or denying that Israel had any part in the assassination. But one area where Israel very much has a part in is humanitarian aid, especially to countries who need it after a natural disaster or any other kind of disaster. And this time we go to Central America, to the countries of Honduras, Guatemala, and Panama, who were devastated by hurricanes, including Hurricane Eta, which destroyed numerous homes and left many homeless. And of course, this is compounded by the global pandemic. But Israel has sent delegations, including an IDF Homefront Command, with aid packages, including food and medicines. And at the moment, the IDF Homefront Command delegation, along with the Foreign Ministry delegation, are up in the northern Honduras, assessing the damage and seeing how they can help people recover quickly. Some moving photos circulating on social media of IDF officers helping people, especially children and babies, receive medical care. And of course, after an event like this, some very important PTSD counseling and training. So those are the top stories making headlines today. Don't forget that if you're in lockdown, or even if you're just looking for something to do, you can read our original content online at our website at www.layoftheland.online. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. We're getting ready for Chanukah, and hey, drop us a Chanukah message. You can find us at Lottel's site. If you haven't already, please give us a like or a follow. I know that you are all frantically subscribing to our YouTube channel by clicking on the big red subscribe button at the Israel Brief, and you also want to interact with us at Twitter, and you can do that by looking for us at Lay of the Land with the digit 5. That's Lay of the Land 5. So with the Tuesday edition of the Israel Brief, I'm Rolene Marks, wishing you a safe and healthy rest of the day, and we'll speak again tomorrow.